Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? Today we are wrapping up our Shark Week with a review of Deep Blue Sea, a movie that was so formative to me in my younger years exploring horror. There are a lot of bad shark movies out there. I feel like we covered not too bad shark movies in my last video, but I do think that Deep Blue Sea has some redeeming elements. I think it is one of the more smart shark horror films, so let's dive into that. But first, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. If you would like to watch Deep Blue Sea, you can check out my Patreon for $2, where you can support me and watch the movie at the same time. Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. Let's get into Deep Blue Sea. Now, this comes from director Renny Harlin, and I have a bone to pick with him, but we'll circle back into that. This came out July 26th, 1999. It's almost the anniversary of this film, but let me know if you share a birthday with Deep Blue Sea. This is an hour and 45 minutes, and I do feel like it does run a little bit long, and the cast is surprising. It's fantastic. So we're gonna dive into all of that and more. Searching for a cure for Alzheimer's disease, a group of scientists on an isolated research facility become prey as a trio of intelligent sharks fight back. And like I mentioned, this was directed by Renny Harlin, and he did direct Mindhunters, which is not terrible. He also directed The Devil's Pass, The Exorcist: The Beginning, The Covenant, and even A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. But where my problem comes with Renny Harlin is the remake of the Strangers movie. The trilogy that is coming. I can't even speak on it because I truly despised the first one so bad, The Strangers Chapter 1, and putting the pieces together that it was Renny Harlin, I was like, let me see you in the streets, you know? That movie was such a terrible remake of the original Strangers and such a disservice to the horror community. I am not looking forward to Chapter 2. And like I mentioned, a good cast: Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, Samuel L. Jackson, but also my personal favorite, Stellan Skarsgård. And also, as I mentioned, this is a very smart shark film. It is played straight. It's not played for any sort of humor or laughs until the comedic relief parts. It's almost like an aquatic horror meets Science Gone Wrong meets Shark Attack movie all in one. And the amalgamation of all three makes it a really fun movie to watch. The film does use some pretty dated CGI, but where they did things right is using a 26-foot long animatronic shark. Must have been horrific to be around. I don't know about you guys, but giant animatronics, especially like dinosaur ones, I've mentioned this before, giant animatronic dinosaurs scare me really bad. Anyways, if I would have been around that shark, I would have been so afraid it would have snapped to life in an instant. The sharks were also designed and created by William Conti, who worked on Free Willy, so you know that they were quality at the time. In Deep Blue Sea, a team of scientists led by Dr. Susan McAllister, a badass, is working on a remote underwater facility to harvest potential cures for Alzheimer's disease from genetically modified mako sharks. But her team's ambition backfires when the sharks, now highly intelligent thanks to tampering with their brains, begin hunting the crew with absolutely terrifying precision. As the research station starts to flood and crumble, the survivors, including shark wrangler Carter Blake and cook Preacher, must outsmart the ultimate predators in a high-stakes battle for survival deep beneath the surface. This movie has so many memorable moments, and like I mentioned, this was such a core movie for me when I was developing my love for horror so early on. When this movie came out, I was barely 8 years old, and it was so scary to me at the time. I remember building a blanket fort in our living room, and a thunderstorm was happening, and I was just watching the shark movie in such terror, and it was so cool. Such a great experience. It stuck with me, and I do love this movie still. The film was supposed to have a completely different outcome, though. Dr. Susan, as we know, spoiler alert, sacrifices herself at the end of the movie, and it's actually such a heartbreaking scene. She like cuts her hands open and lets her body just kind of go into the water, and it's a really nice sacrifice scene when you think about it, but it's really sad, you know? But it wasn't supposed to happen like that, because in the original cut, LL Cool J's character, Preacher, actually passed away, and I'm pretty sure the bird died with him in that version, but test audiences hated it so much, and I can understand why. So they just changed it and flipped it, and Dr. Susan dies and Preacher lives. But this might have been also because LL Cool J performs the ending song for the movie. It is called, and I quote, "Deepest Blue, my hat is a shark fin." I don't know why that makes me feel so like internally cringe, the title. But I feel like if they would have killed him off at the end of the movie, it would have been like, oh, now they're playing his music, but he survives, and it's like, yeah, now they're playing his music. Deep Blue Sea is inspired by real science. The act of using shark brain proteins to cure Alzheimer's was based on speculative theories about neurogenesis and memory proteins, but in real life, no one is using sharks. Hopefully, nobody is using sharks like that, and it is completely speculative. It is just an idea. And to kind of wrap this up here, Renny Harlin said that Deep Blue Sea was supposed to be a combination of Jaws, The Poseidon Adventure, and The Thing. And I feel like those are all movies that let you understand and know the characters. Everybody gets a backstory. You understand who every player is in the story before the story begins. And then when they die, it just becomes a little more heart-wrenching and memorable. It definitely solidifies itself in the over-the-top 90s set pieces, kills. It's such a great essential 90s film, even though it comes at the end of the decade. So let me know your thoughts on Deep Blue Sea. Do you think it deserves more love and less hate? I feel like it does need some redemption, a resurgence, and a little more love. So for my next video, it will be another episode of Side Character Deep Dive, and then after that, we are hitting the ground running with some more freaky, weird, disturbing stuff. So stay with me, and I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.